Mount Mercy softball players Jayna Witzany, Jade Sharp, and Makenna Moenk played in more than 450 games combined in their Mustang careers. After accomplishing so much over the past 4 to 5 years, it certainly hit them at times during the season that this was their final year playing softball.
In the beginning of the season, I was pretty prepared for this to be my last year, and it actually made me a lot more excited to just go out and play every game like it was my last.
I kind of came into this season just thinking it was another season because it's been something I've been doing my whole life. So to think about it being done after this year is kind of crazy to me. One of our teammates just sent in the chat talking about senior day gifts, and that's when I was kind of like, oh, this is coming up a lot quicker than I thought.
I know the last time I step off that field, it's probably going to be one of the hardest moments that I've been through yet, because softball's been such a big part of my life. I'm very, very glad I came back. I had some tough decisions when I came back, and I chose softball over some things, and I haven't regretted it one time.
All three players came from different backgrounds. Makenna is a Cedar Rapids native, was a Prairie graduate, and wanted to stay close to home. Jade came from Des Moines, which is 2 hours west. And Jayna came from Hill Murray High School in Minnesota, which is in the Twin Cities.
I never have heard of Mount Mercy. A lot of people don't know what it is if you're not from Cedar Rapids, because after I did commit here, I had a lot of people asking me where I was going, and they're like, oh, I've never heard of that. But once I did find out about Mount Mercy, I knew I really wanted to come here.
I had always wanted to travel. I've grown up and I've wanted to get out of Minnesota. Don't get me wrong, I love Minnesota. The winters are kind of brutal, but I do love it. I wanted a stepping stone outside of the state, and I figured what better way to do that than when everybody else is transitioning from high school to college.
With their different backgrounds, they shared many memories together, including some that were heartbreaking. All three of them experienced the COVID year when all sports at the pro, college, and high school level across the country were shut down. The Mustangs had played in 13 games and at one point had a 7-game winning streak before the team had received the shocking news.
We had just gotten back from our spring break trip, and we came to practice this one day, and we all warmed up and everything. We're all happy talking, and Coach sat us down, and he said, this is our last practice. The NAIA called. We're just going to have to shut down because of COVID. We can't have a season. And so everybody was really shocked. For those seniors, it was really sad that that was it for them.
It was kind of like a punch to the stomach because we were playing so well, and all of a sudden it was over. We had heard rumors, in classrooms, on the field, that it was going to happen, but no one ever really thought that we would completely shut down.
The news of COVID was quite an eventful trip. I'll be honest, I cried, and I'm not much of a crier. Hearing the news really was a blow. We came out on the field, and Coach was like, you know what? He sat us down. He goes, I don't know what's going to happen. This is pretty bad. We want you guys to be safe. Your health is our main concern. We're just waiting it out, so we're going to have a fun practice. And we had kickball on the field. It was like the best little team bonding we could do before. I haven't seen some of those players since that day.
After having a season taken away from them, Jade, Makenna, and Jayna helped the Mustangs make history the following season. Mount Mercy claimed the Heart of America Conference Tournament title in a come-from-behind win against Grandview. The Mustangs made it to the national tournament for the first time since 2010. But the journey did not end there. The Mustangs won their regional and made it to the NAIA World Series for the first time in program history.
The best way I can describe it is it felt like I was 16 playing for the Olympics. It was just unbelievable. The atmosphere, the field we played on in the World Series was a college World Series or Olympics, a field. It literally felt like this is the best place I could be. I want this moment to last forever. And when people ask me what's the highlight of your college career and college in general, I go, the World Series my junior year, because there's nothing like it.
It was just really, really different because we were playing teams around the whole country. I think we played a Texas team, we played 2 Oregon teams, and so it was kind of fun to see how they played differently from us, from Midwest.
All three seniors will hope and help the Mustangs reach the World Series one last time. The team did make it to the NAIA tournament for the second time in 3 years, but came up short in the regionals. These three seniors still accomplished many things in a Mustang uniform. Jayna Witzany will go down as the best pitcher in program history. She struck out more than 1,000 batters in her career. Only 7 other pitchers have accomplished that mark in NAIA history. Witzany, of course, gives a lot of credit to Jade and Makenna for making big plays behind her in the infield over the years. For all three players, they hope they have set a standard for future players to continue a winning culture at Mount Mercy.
If I'm able to lead them there this year, then next year and the year after that, then those girls that have been there this year can be the leaders that take the next few years all the way there. And I think Coach Yoder can have a very serious level of competition for the next few years, as long as the girls keep wanting it and stay driven.
An NAIA first team All-American, NFCA